Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, today we will discuss about some rituals of Hajj in detail. I think we will be able to discuss in this period very easily Ihram, Tawaf and Rami. So we start from Ihram, what Ihram is. When we talk about Ihram, there is Ihram for male and Ihram for female. Ihram for male consists of two white sheets of unstitched cloth. One sheet is used for covering the lower portion of body from navel downwards, and the second one is used for covering the upper portion of the body. The head remains uncovered. So this is the ihram for males. When we talk about ihram of males, so there is a special style for wearing ihram for males. That style is called ittiba. What ittiba is? It is the act of passing the upper sheet of ihram through the right armpit and placing it on the left shoulder, leaving the right shoulder uncovered. So this style is called ittiba. And ittiba is only for males, it is not for females. So what is the ihram for females? Ihram for females. The ihram for females is their everyday clothes. And in Hajj, you can see women wear hijab. So hijab can easily cover their heads and cover their body. That's why they use hijab. Otherwise, hijab itself is not ihram. So ihram for females is their everyday clothes. When we talk about ihram, there are some restrictions and undesirable acts for that person who is in the state of ihram. So there are some prohibitions and restrictions. We can say haram acts during the state of ihram, and there are some undesirable acts and makruhat ihram. So now we discuss the restrictions and prohibitions of ihram one by one. The first restriction is wearing stitched clothes only for males. So males cannot put on the stitched clothes because he is in the state of ihram, and ihram consists of two white unstitched sheets. So that's why it is prohibition to wear stitched clothes for males. The next one is wearing of shoes which cover the raised bone of the feet. So pilgrim who is in the state of ihram cannot wear the shoes which cover the raised bone. What is the raised bone? See in the picture, this is the raised bone of feet. So those shoes which cover the raised bone, ones who in the state of ihram cannot wear. So pilgrim can wear only slippers or the shoes with strips like this. So it is prohibition for that person who is in the state of ihram. The next one is putting on bandage on head or face. It is also prohibited act for pilgrim. The next one is covering the head or face for males. Females are required to cover their heads only. This is the prohibition for males to cover their heads. So it is prohibited for the males who are in the state of ihram to cover their heads, even during the salat. When you are not in the state of ihram, you pray, you perform your salat, and you should cover your heads. But in the state of ihram, it is sunnah that pilgrim does not cover their head. Pilgrim should not cover their head, male pilgrims. But obviously, females are required to cover their heads. The next one is shaving, cutting, or trimming of hairs. It is also prohibited during the state of ihram. If you want to trim your hair or cut your hair or shave your head, you can. But before ihram, when you are in the state of ihram or pilgrim in the state of ihram, he cannot trim or cannot shave the head. Next one is cutting of nails. Before ihram, you should cut your nails, but during ihram, you cannot. This is the prohibited act during the state of ihram. The next one is using perfumed hair oil or any kind of perfume during state of ihram. These are the prohibitions during the state of ihram. You can use perfume before ihram, but when you put on ihram, you cannot use perfumed hair oil or any other kind of perfume. The next one is using abusive or foul language or quarreling. During the state of ihram, it is haram to use any kind of foul language or any kind of abusive language or quarreling. Yes, this is haram in the state of ihram, and it is also prohibited outside the ihram. So please, in your daily life, you should not abuse anyone or use any kind of abusive language or foul language. Quarreling is also prohibited in our daily lives. The next one is to indulge in marital relationships. The next one is hunting the animals. Hunting the animals. A person who is in the state of ihram, he cannot go and fire any animal. It is prohibited act during the state of ihram. Otherwise, hunting is halal, but during the state of ihram, it is haram. So these are some prohibitions and restrictions during the state of ihram. These acts are haram. You cannot perform any act in these. If a pilgrim performs any act from these, so there is no ihram. If there is no ihram, so then there is no Hajj, because ihram is the obligatory act of Hajj. If there is no ihram, there is no Hajj. And there are some undesirable acts of ihram. Number one is rubbing the body from removing dirt or dust. The next one is using perfumed soap for washing the body or face. Bathing with water is allowed. The next one is combing the hair or passing the fingers through the hair or scratching the head, as these acts may cause the hair to fall or may kill the lice in the hair. It is also undesirable act during the state of ihram. The next one is smelling perfume or some sweet smelling grass. It means you cannot smell intentionally like this. Wow, what a perfume, what is the price of this? When you involve yourself in that perfume, so this is undesirable act. Just smelling a perfume, this is not prohibited, this is not undesirable, but undesirable act is this, when you smell it intentionally. and involved in that smell, in that perfume. The next one is using a pin or needle for holding the sheets of the ihram. It is also undesirable act. So next one is using spices in food such as cardamom, clove or cinnamon, or using perfumed tobacco. These all things are undesirable. You should not use this kind of spices in your food. So be careful about these undesirable acts. Now, there are some permitted acts of ihram. Number one is use of toothbrush or miswak. There is a sweet smell in toothpaste, but it is permitted. The next one is harmful insects may be killed. If there is a harmful insect around you, a pilgrim can kill that insect. The next one is halal animals but not hunted may be eaten. And the next one is use of blanket for covering the body but not the head or face is allowed. So these are some restrictions of ihram and undesirable acts of ihram and some permitted acts of ihram. I think this is enough for ihram. Now move to tawaf. What tawaf is? Tawaf means going 7 circles around Kaaba. It is also called circumambulation. Allah says in Quran, in Surah Hajj, then let them complete their rites prescribed for them and circumambulate the ancient house. Surah number 22, verse number 29. The pilgrims circumambulate in mutaf. What is mutaf? Mutaf is a place inside Masjid al-Haram and around the Kaaba on which tawaf is performed. So now, what is the method of tawaf? So it is written in your book, tawaf starts and ends at black stone. I think you have knowledge about a black stone. It is a sacred stone which is placed in one corner of the Kaaba, and pilgrims start the tawaf from that corner where the Hajr Aswad is placed and ends first, then the second one, and third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So 7 circles around Kaaba is equal to 1 tawaf. When the pilgrim starts tawaf, he kisses Hajr Aswad. So kissing of Hajr Aswad is called istilam-e Hajr Aswad, kissing of black stone. How does pilgrim kiss that stone? There are some methods to kiss. Number one is the palms of the both hands are placed on it with the face between 2 palms, and the stone is kissed in such a way that no sound is produced. Suppose this is Hajr Aswad, and place your both hands around and kiss with your lips. So this is sunnat way of kissing the black stone. But if you cannot do because of rush, because of crowd, so the second method is, if it is not possible to kiss stone in this way, it may merely be touched with the right hand and the hand kissed. First method is not possible. You can do the second one. Just touch Hajr Aswad, black stone, and kiss your hand. If the second way of kissing, the second way of istilam, kissing of black stone, is not possible, then the third one. If that is not possible, one may raise the palms of hands towards Hajr Aswad and kiss the palms. Just like this. Suppose there is Hajr Aswad, raise your hand, and then kiss your hands. So these three ways of kissing the black stone. So when pilgrims start tawaf, so the pilgrims kiss the black stone among these three methods. Then complete the first circle and the second one and the third one and the fourth one and the fifth one and the sixth one and seventh one. So 7 circles around Kaaba is equal to 1 tawaf. When pilgrims complete their tawaf, 7 circles around Kaaba, go to Maqam Ibrahim, station of Ibrahim, and offer 2 rakat there at the station of Ibrahim. So this is the completion of tawaf. So there is a dua for every circle. It is difficult for some people to pray every dua in every circle. So for their comfort, they can recite talbiyah during every circle. Otherwise, there are some duas during tawaf. There are 7 circles around Kaaba. First 3 circles they do ramal. So what is ramal? Ramal. This is the way of walking during tawaf. The pilgrim expands his chest and moves briskly, moving his shoulders. Ramal is not for female. Just like wrestlers expand chest and walk briskly with moving the shoulder like this. This is ramal. It is only for males. Ramal is not for females. And ramal is only in 3 circles. Why we do ramal? There is a story behind this. Well, Holy Prophet ﷺ and his companions came from Medina to perform Umrah. They were feeling some fatigue. That's why they were moving lazily. When unbelievers saw them, they taunted them. Climate of Medina had made them weak. When Holy Prophet ﷺ knew this, he said to his companion, do ramal in first 3 circles of tawaf. So it is the sunnah of Holy Prophet ﷺ and sunnah of the companions, which we perform now. So this is tawaf, and now the kinds of tawaf. There are 5 kinds of tawaf, and I told you in previous lecture about the names of tawaf. For example, tawaf-e-qudum and tawaf-e-ziyara and tawaf-e-wida. You know these 3 tawaf. First one is tawaf-e-qudum. Tawaf-e-qudum is a sunnat tawaf. Keep in your mind, method of every tawaf is same. There is no difference in method. For example, when we offer 2 rakat of farz and 2 rakat of nafal and 2 rakat of sunnah of prayer, so the method of 2 rakat of farz and 2 rakat of sunnah and 2 rakat of nafal is same. So what is the difference? Difference only is niyyat. So here, if there is a tawaf-e-qudum or tawaf-e-ziyarat or tawaf-e-wida or tawaf-e-nafl or tawaf-e-umrah, there is no difference in the method of tawaf, but there is a difference of niyyah, intention. So first one is tawaf-e-qudum. It is sunnat and performed on entering Masjid-e-Haram. When pilgrims see Masjid-e-Haram, they run towards Masjid-e-Haram in the love of Kaaba. So this is sunnat tawaf. It is performed by pilgrims. The next one is tawaf-e-ziyarat. It is also known as tawaf-e-ifada and tawaf-e-rukn. You know about this tawaf? It is obligatory act of Hajj. So there is no Hajj without tawaf-e-ziyarat or tawaf-e-ifada or tawaf-e-rukn. And there is no compensation of this. So it must be performed between 10th of Zil Hajj and 12th of Zil Hajj. The next one is Tawaf-e-Wida. It is also called Tawaf-e-Sadr. It is Wajib Tawaf. This is the last ritual of Hajj, and it is performed at the time of departure. When pilgrims leave Kaaba, leave Makkah, then pilgrims perform it at the time of departure. The next one is Tawaf-e-Umrah. It is obligatory act for Umrah, just like Tawaf-e-Ziyarah. Tawaf-e-Ziyarah is obligatory act for Hajj, and Tawaf-e-Umrah is obligatory for Umrah. It is first for Umrah. If there is no Tawaf-e-Umrah, there is no performance of Umrah. The next one is Tawaf-e-Nafl. It is any Tawaf other than these 4 Tawaf. You can perform this Tawaf in the morning or in the evening or noon or afternoon, in any time you can perform. So this is Tawaf-e-Nafl. So this is Tawaf and method of Tawaf and kinds of Tawaf. Now move to Rami, stoning to devil. The act of stoning the devil is called Rami. It is also called Rami-e-Jemar. There is a story behind this. When Hazrat Ibrahim took his son for the sacrifice, so in the way there is Iblis who wanted to mislead or misguide Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail. First time he came to Hazrat Ibrahim and tried to misguide Hazrat Ibrahim, but Hazrat Ibrahim threw some pebbles on Iblis and he ran away. And next time he again came and misguided to Hazrat Ibrahim. Hazrat Ibrahim did the same. Third time he came to Hazrat Ismail. He wanted to detract Hazrat Ismail, but Hazrat Ismail also threw the pebbles on Iblis and he ran away. So this act, throwing the pebbles on devil, this is the sunnah of Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail. And we Muslims perform the sunnah of Hazrat Ibrahim and Hazrat Ismail. So Rami is the remembrance of that act. They did it 3 times. So now there are 3 pillars, and those pillars are called Jamarat. So there are 3 Jamarat. The first one is Jamaratul Uqba. The second one is Jamaratul Wusta. The third one is Jamaratul Sughra. So these 3 pillars erected there where the Prophet Ibrahim and Ismail threw the pebbles on the Satan. So we do this in the remembrance of Hazrat Ibrahim and Ismail. I think it is enough for today. So in the next lecture, we will discuss the complete method of Hajj. Inshallah, tabarak wa ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Allah Hafiz.